I think one of the most important skills to learn as a photographer is knowing how to photo edit. Knowing how to create a consistent style throughout your portfolio and knowing how to make your subject stand out in your image. These are really important skills, knowing how to turn a good photo into a great one. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 3 really important tips on how you can become a better photo editor inside Lightroom. And I'm going to start right now. Now, my first tip I'm calling the art of cropping. Now, cropping allows you to change 2 fundamental aspects of your photo. Firstly, it allows you to change your composition. And this can be really helpful if you've got a slightly wonky horizon, or maybe your subject is looking out of the frame instead of into the frame. Well, cropping allows you to adjust that. As well as you can also change the aspect ratio as well, which can really help aid how people actually view your image. You can change it from portrait to landscape, or simply change your aspect ratio dimensions. Maybe it's going to be a more panoramic image, or maybe your image can be slightly taller to fit a specific frame. Now, take this photo as a great example. Yes, this is the kind of full resolution image, and annoyingly, the puffin is right in the bottom part of the frame. So what I would do with this image is simply go to my crop tool, and then I would simply crop in on the image. Now, I shot this on the Canon R6 Mark III, so we've got quite a lot of resolution to play with, around 32, so we can actually crop in this image quite a lot. So I would go for something like so. I'd probably go and click enter. The problem is I'm also not totally happy with the aspect ratio. The puffin is kind of landscape in shape, this kind of rectangle taking up the image. So we can better reflect that by simply changing the aspect ratio as well. So again, I'd go back to the crop tool. Now, to change the aspect ratio, you've got this aspect here. You've got a few presets that you can use. 1:1, which is square, 4:5, which is a classic one that you'd find on Instagram. But actually for this image, I'm going to go down to my custom ones, and I'm going to choose my 2:1. That's my favorite one, especially for birds in flight. As you can see, this perfectly matches the shape of the puffin. So now I will place the puffin bang smack in the middle of my frame, and then I'd go ahead and click enter. And I'm a lot happier with this composition. Firstly, we've cropped in on the image, so we've removed a lot of that fluff that this photo just didn't need, as well as we've changed the aspect ratio. So to really make your photos stand out, the best way is to slightly adjust your composition, remove any errors that you might have, like for example, a wonky horizon. That's usually very noticeable, as well as don't be afraid to play around with aspect ratios. They can really help aid your image, and again, in this particular case, really make your subject stand out. Now, my next tip I'm calling edit with color intent. And color intent is one of the most important tips I can give you as someone that color grades their images and actually does a lot of photo editing. But what do I mean by color intent? Well, I think there's 2 types of photographers out there, and write down in the comments below which one you think you are. I think type 1 is people that vibe edit. Jump onto Lightroom, mess around with the sliders, does a lot of experimentation, trial and error to see what works, and once they're happy, they go ahead and export. Then you've got type 2, which is one that I fall into, and that is color intent. Going in with the looking at the photo and going with the idea that you know what the photo should look like before you even upload it to Lightroom. Now, how can we become a more type 2 photographer? Because in my opinion, being a type 2 photographer means you're spending less time in Lightroom messing around with the sliders because you know what the outcome will be. Well, then I would learn color themes. Now, color themes are an incredibly powerful tool that photographers can know, knowing what colors work well together. Now, the TLDR of it, because I've actually made a very long video on color themes, I'd recommend watching this video here, is there's 6 common color themes out there, from monochromatic all the way to double complementary, and your photo should fit in one of these 6 common color themes. Now, take this photo here as an example. This fits into what we call a complementary color theme. But obviously it didn't start out this way. If I go to the before image, we can see that it's nowhere near as saturated. The blue of the dress doesn't really match that red color that you can see in the background. So what I've done is I've looked at the image. I know that I really want to make that red nice and pop, especially versus the skin tones, and I really want to change the color of that dress. So if we have a look at the color wheel with the before photo, you can see that we've got these colors, but they're not perfectly complementary. They're not opposite each other on the color wheel. So what I've done is I've go ahead and I've edited this photo as well as removed obviously a few distractions. And now if we have a look at the color wheel, we can see that the actual colors are now polar opposite each other, better matching a complementary color theme. So as a photographer, I think to understand color, I would highly recommend watching firstly this video, but also understanding color themes, knowing how your photo fits into a specific color theme and then going from there. One of the tips that I would recommend is also using presets. Presets can help, but you need to know what preset works. And to start that, you need to know how to edit with color intent. So understanding color themes is an incredibly powerful process to speed up your editing process and become more of a type 2 photographer. And my last tip, and probably the most powerful tip if you edit your photos in Lightroom, is knowing how to properly use masks. Now, masks are an incredibly powerful tool and they can really make your subject stand out, allowing you to emphasize certain parts of your image as well as de-emphasize other parts, making a darkened mask, making a brightened mask, a more saturated mask. They're an incredibly powerful tool. Now, I could spend hours talking about masks, and I've actually made a masterclass tutorial just on masks, going over everything that you need to know. But so this video isn't like 100 minutes long. What I'll do is I'll just break down how I've edited this photo simply by using masks. So if I go over to my mask tool, we can see we've made quite a few masks. Now the first mask here is a simple darken background mask. So how I've created this is by going into a linear gradient and then I've subtracted it from our subject. And then all I've gone is done in my exposure and I've dropped it down by 1 stop. Now to make sure the dress doesn't really pop out, because obviously we've created this subject mask, I've created a smaller gradient mask covering the background and foreground as well. So we've got kind of 2 darker masks, 2 variants of degrees. Then I've created, because this is a portrait photo, a skin mask. Now as you can see, I haven't made any contrast or any exposure changes, but what I can see is if you go down to my clarity, I've just dropped it down ever so slightly. This has created a slightly softer skin effect, which really helps again with portrait photos. I've also emphasized the eyes by adding in a little bit of contrast, as well as increasing the whites and decreasing the blacks. In the dress, again, to better match the color theme of my photo, you can see if I do the before, the dress was quite green, but to better match the blue of the kind of wooden door in the background, I've just slightly adjusted it by going into my point color, taking that green and sliding it over to the right. You can see I've actually made 2 swatches here. And again, that is just a dress mask, so it's only covering the dress. I haven't made a global change to this photo. And then lastly, I've got my hair mask here. Now usually in my hair mask, again, I don't make any exposure changes, but what you'll notice, I've increased the texture, clarity and dehaze, and often it makes the hair look a little bit sharper and makes the photo look sharper overall. So as you can see, if I just show you the before and after of just the masks on this image, if I do the before and after, it's made the photo made the subject drastically more stand out while darkening the background. And that's not including any of the steps that I've done in the overall global adjustments. If I show you the before and after, you can see it makes a massive difference to the photo. So if you're struggling making your photos stand out, then I would recommend using Lightroom masks.